Hello, hello.
Natural. I want to pick our dancing, will it?
Lovely, huh? Nice. Oh my. All right. Good job. Good job. Shut up to the chin. Yep, yep. Get him closer to you. Good job.
also very specifically the elitism of art in the period, that you had to go to school and learn from a master, and it was fairly expensive to go and see it. You had to pay a lot of money for it. And of course, those developments were happening at the same period of time when we saw the beginning of the civil rights movement, anti-Vietnam War movement, women's liberation, gay lesbian liberation, this whole period of time of looking at the structures of society, so it wasn't separated from that. And Contact was picking up on a lot of the developments that had happened and to create the community or the developed art aspect of improvisational dance, which was quite new in the late 1950s, and very similarly to what was going on in things like other art forms, jazz, music, the questioning of, do we have to do it the way it was done before? In dance, of, do we have to learn a specific vocabulary? Do we have to learn it from a master? Do we have to perform it in a fancy costume with funny shoes and in a big proceeding stage? So all those things are coming into question. And I don't know how true this is, but the history says that the very first one of these contemporary dance performances actually was done in Yoko Ono's loft in New York City in 1962. A dance performance in a loft space outside of the theater space. It may have not been the very first one, it was the most famous early one. And the content of these dances was really changing. So the vocabulary, the contemporary vocabulary, the ballet vocabulary, all that stuff was being thrown out, and people were doing all kinds of things. Nothing, walking, running, games, playing with different kinds of props. They were performing in lofts, on rooftops, in galleries, on the street. That stuff isn't so unusual to us now, but at the time it was definitely a break. And it was intended to be a very specific comment on the availability of art to only a certain group in a very particular way of the time. Improvisational dance was one of the particular developments, and certainly one of the most, the people who explored this most particularly was Steve Paxton and the people around him in the Grand Union who threw everything out, like no rehearsal, no costumes, no emotional expression, no distance from the audience, and that the content could really be whatever came out in the moment. There were other people exploring improvisation in a different way, but he was the most radical and who claimed his radical space, and there were lots of debates that you can read about this form. And I think, I mean, if you look at the work, I think there's the range. Some of it's really like bad and boring. Some of it's really interesting, but whatever, it actually broke open the possibility of what dance could be as a presented form. And so that was all happening through the 60s. Improvisational dance was being performed by groups like the Grand Union. They were touring the country, they toured Canada, so they were really raising the profile of improvised dance, and that has made its way into school curriculums now and is sort of part of contemporary dance. So that's all happened. And Steve Paxton, a lot of the early stuff does form around him, the beginning stuff, although I have to say that there are many, many people who were involved in actually developing the form. It is important to remember that he was a person that started this direction, I think. He was studying improvisation, performing it, and also he was writing about it and theorizing about it. So there's a body of information that he was putting out there for people to listen to. And he was also, by the late 60s, early 70s, studying Aikido, martial art form, which is very new, a post-World War II martial art form in Japan, has a particular focus, a particular element to it, which is instead of a martial form, somebody throws a punch and you block it or deflect. In Aikido, when somebody throws a punch, you take their energy and you take them off balance and redirect them through space. So that piece of information was really interesting to him. He was studying that. He went to Oberlin College in 1972. He was working with this very unusual thing, a modern dance class of only men. And he brought in his improv. He brought in
just before PATV. The rain is just for us. Nobody else but us. See, we need it. Perfect. Perfect. Ever since I went through the front window, I have been dizzy. But that's all right. One can balance out. Hear him? Woo, woo, woo. Nice, huh? Anyone want to join? No? No? I love this. Love this. No?
Dear Detroit CI family, this is Ava Su from Iowa City, who CI'd with y'all last weekend, 4-6 May. Today it is 13 May, Mother's Day. May this lovely day be celebrated everywhere in honor of all mothers. Truly, truly, we all owe so very much to each other's mothers. Love. Hope this has been a great day for everyone. It's been for me, as what I've got cooking from the CI in Detroit 4-6 May a week ago already began to present, to me at least, some rare footage of this unique form of live sculpture of humans dancing in synchronicity. Explaining the subject, since everyone is already a member of the CI dance family for lesser or more years doesn't matter. We've already experienced CI as dance of synchronicity, yes? Because in dance of CI, we contact to support, then contact to combat or to kill. A totally opposite idea for the conventional soldier who is trained to combat and destroy enemies. But as we dance CI with other bodies, we aren't looking to destroy or harm. We are only contacting to support and help one another move onward gracefully, preventing harm all the way. As we explore the CI dance form together, we often find new ways of moving our own and others' bodies due to our concern with synchronicity, contact but never harm. We even get to swim like fish sometimes, or take flight as birds in the air just for an instant. Yes, we humans together can move beautifully, even defying gravity at times. CI being free of specific steps we must take together, we find new ways of shifting, moving our bodies, possibly more efficiently. CI must let each of us dancers be ourselves and move as we possibly can around other bodies and harming none. However, the dancer's concern in CI is not diminishing the opposite side to zero persons, but to dance in the most harmonious ways is to make all our CI sessions most alive and rich in activities, many of which can be quite varied in form and style, or be similar in some ways. Nevertheless, each dancer participating in the CI session includes his or her moves as part of CI, contact improvisation that's being done. No line is drawn separating the dancers and the pedestrians. Any move a human makes in public is acceptable as a dance move in CI. We thank Steve Paxton for his democratization of dance. Thus, the vocabulary of CI dance moves are as varied as there are dancers. We as people must become aware that we each is capable of moving and thus dancing contact improvisation. It is true, though, that we might learn some techniques from other CI dancers that enhance our CI flexibility. In group or in solo, there are always real-life things with which one can contact improv. Be they objects, persons, animals, plants, birds, fish, music, images, answer to possible CI moves is open, not closed like ballet. An open set has unlimited number of elements, which a closed set has only a limited number. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Sergei Rachmaninoff, Wikipedia, Free Encyclopedia. Sergei Rachmaninoff, born April 1873, was a Russian composer, pianist, and conductor. Rachmaninoff is widely considered one of the finest pianists of his day, and as a composer, one of the last great representatives of Romanticism in Russian classical music. Early influences Tchaikovsky, Rimsky, and other Russian composers gave way to a thoroughly personal idiom that included a pronounced lyricism, expressive breadth, structural ingenuity, and a tonal palette of rich, distinctive orchestral colors. The piano is featured prominently in Rachmaninoff's compositional output. He made a point of using his own skills as a performer to explore fully the expressive possibilities of the instrument. Even in his earliest works, he revealed a sure grasp of idiomatic piano writing and a striking gift for melody. Rachmaninoff was born on April 1st, 1873, in Smilno, near Great Norov Lake in northwestern Russia, into a family of the Russian aristocracy. Originally a partly Tatar descent, which had been in the service of the Russian Tsars since the 16th century. His parents were both amateur pianists. When he was 4, his mother gave him casual piano lessons, but it was his paternal grandfather, Arcady, who had a teacher from St. Petersburg to teach the 9-year-old Sophia in 1882. She remained for 2 or 3 years until the family's house had to be sold to settle debts, and Rachmaninoff's moved to St. Petersburg. The piano scholar studied at the St. Petersburg Conservatoire, alone to Moscow at age 14 to enroll at the Moscow Imperial Conservatory. His parents arranged for him to live in the home of his piano teacher, the severe and autocratic Nikolai Zverev, who Rachmaninoff admitted in later interviews instilled in the formality and rather lazy boy the disciplined work habits which would serve him well. Rachmaninoff showed great skill in both piano and composition, which he studied with Anton Arsky, and while still a student he wrote the one-act opera Allegro, for which he was awarded a gold medal in composition. His first piano concerto and a group of piano pieces, Marceau and de Fasson, 1892, a set which includes the famous prelude in C-sharp minor falls. It was the great success of his various and sometimes lurid titles that made Rachmaninoff's a well-known composition both in Russia and in the West. However, he came eventually to the Deist since it was so often demanded as an encore at his recitals. In later years, he sometimes teased an expectant audience by asking, "Oh, must I?" or claiming an inability to remember it. Zverev and his student fell out over Rachmaninoff's ambition to be a composer, and Alexander Siloti, who was Rachmaninoff's cousin, had been one of the greatest of Franz Liszt's pupils, became his teacher.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ava Su Gan-Wei, your producer in Iowa City, and today we are doing a formal presentation on contact improvisation, CI, which is a dance of synchronicity. I have looked at it. I have been doing contact improvisation since 2000. I began taking a class at the University of Iowa, a dance department, undergraduate. I took that same class several semesters for credit, in fact. And I did well. And thereafter, I have been busy with my own work. And I have been able to express now since the end of 2004. I bought the studio grade dance floor to put down APA TV so we can dance on the best. Yeah. So that's why. But today we want to still remember, of course, always remember when somebody, it's called 我不忘恩负义. Okay, always remember someone's grace, someone's helping hand in the past. They called people of grace. Yeah. 恩人, we call it 恩人. Yeah. I'm talking about, in particular, the contact improvisation people, the dance group. We call them CI family of Detroit, who helped me when I went over there to attend that course in the weekend of 4 to 6 May. And I was housed with the housing person whose name is Ava Leventer. She's real sweet. She took care of myself. She took care of me herself. Or the whole time she was carrying me like I was a babe. I couldn't possibly go wrong then, right? I was so trustworthy for that, so secure. So I was being able to then write up that paper, which Jared just read recently about CI, Dance of Synchronicity. Yeah, I'm very grateful. And she and her husband did not marry, but less than a year ago, in fact, less than 9 months, or maybe now it's 9 months, yeah. So I wanted to wish them happiness, and I give these two. This one is small, but it also is very important, although it's written smallly here. 百年好合 means 100 years great union. You can write that real big, of course. But I wrote these big in particular because these characters are very complicated and I can't see very well. I'm blind. Please forgive me. So 龙凤呈祥, very special. 龙 is dragon. In this case, that signifies the husband, the male part, the groom. And 凤 is the bride, of course. 呈 make, 祥 best, auspiciousness. Yeah. So I wanted to still show that. Although in general, this would at their wedding festival, wedding banquet, they would have a wedding banquet, inviting many friends and relatives to come and have dinner and so forth. They would have this all would be in red, of course. Yeah. So that's how that works. But anyway, I'm showing you, and today the Rachmaninoff is played by Vladimir Ashkenazi in Ashkenazi. Is that how you say his name? Ashkenazi, yeah, Z-Y. Vladimir Ashkenazi. He wrote this. He's just so special. He played this whole thing. He's a great pianist, great musician, great pianist, and conductor. He conducts a youth orchestra in London, I think, something like that. Anyway, so right here I bought this. There were 10 great concertos, piano concertos plus one, so that's 11. So anyway, I've been very grateful. And I wanted to share that with you all. And this is what I had been able to get about pica. And this is a pica, huge pica, dancing with little Ava Su. Yeah, the pica is, I think, getting a bit of a flower. Yeah, picas are these little tiny, they are called mouse hair, I think. H-A-R-E, mouse hair, yeah. Mouse hairs, because they are so small and they're very short-legged and so forth, so on. Yeah. I'm very grateful. So how are we doing? I can't see that. Tell me how it is. It's almost done? 3, thank you. Thank you very much. So I am just showing you some of the old things and reminding you about it, like some 我祝繁民 in San Francisco, like the home, home away from home for all the Chinese people to come by to have some heartwarming, what's called comfort food, Cantonese comfort food, Chinese Cantonese comfort food, at Chinatown, San Francisco, at 三我粥粉面. The poor people can still have some, just comfort food. And I'm so sorry that no longer exists. They closed them down. Health. They over 100 years they were. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. But so here's something I wrote. I wrote up about 三我粥粉面. It feels very badly. It's like an old grandma who passed. Very sad. I have never experienced old grandma passing because none of them were alive when I was born. So that's how that goes. And there's some more on the 三我粥粉面 because it's such a sweet thing. And it's comfort food. Zuk is a thin rice soup like that. Fan is thin rice noodle, and then mean will be noodle. The three different things. This is probably youtiao. Sections of youtiao. Youtiao is grease strip. Grease strip is wheat strips that are tiny. As though they're tiny, about this big, maybe 2 to 3 inches, tiny, real thin, about maybe 1/3 inch. And then they put it in hot oil. Goes real big. Yeah, and then you eat that with the soup, with the thin rice soup. Very good, very tasty. Oh, yeah, we really. And this is for double happiness, a special character for people who marry, especially for wedding. So this is the reason I bring it up again for my friends. They're newlyweds. We call them newlyweds because they are not yet married a year. Yep. And today's program, not yet, almost finished, is OOCIDJ, Occasional Open Contact Improvisation Dance Jam. Here's some more to show you the beautiful double happiness. Spring catawba tree, tall catawba tree with white blossoms. Excuse me, Memorial Day weekend. Yep. Captured Memorial Day weekend. Thank you. Very happy. And this is Shui Long water dragon. This begins a long era of water dragon right now. Water dragon. Yep. Water dragon. Yes. There are 5 elements. 金木水火土 metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, and of which this is water right now, and that's of the 5 elements. And the 12 animals, this is dragon. So it's that. Every 60 years they come back together. One is 12, one is 5. 5 times 12 is 60, right? So the combination rotates like that. And this is a beautiful picture from a frame from very old footage, probably 1991, 1995, or something. The moon. Beautiful. This is from iMovie, I think. Very beautiful. I love it. So I show you. This is showing Ava Su dancing with herself. Neat, huh? Oh, double happiness. Yes. This is beautiful tree. Beautiful. On the Pentacrest in the wintertime. Isn't that beautiful? With the clouds. Yeah. Very special. And these are the little babes. Yep. I think we're about time, right? Are we about time to quit? I think this is fine. I thank you very much for viewing, everyone. This has been a wonderful time, and it's our formal statement that contact improvisation CI is dance of synchronicity. Surely is. Thank you very much. Thank you.